April 25th, 2022 regular meeting of the Paris City Council is hereby called to order at 5:30 p.m. For the purpose of this meeting, there is a quorum of the council present. Item number 2 is the invocation led by Mr. Gene Anderson, and the Pledge of Allegiance. Item 3 will be led by Mayor Pro Tem Hughes. Please rise.
May we pray? Heavenly Father, we know that we are blessed of you, and that all that we have, Father, is a good and perfect gift from you. We pray that we might use those gifts wisely, and we pray for our council tonight as they conduct the city business. Father, that they would have understanding of all the complicated items that come up, and that they might make wise decisions. We just ask that you'd bless our city, our state, and our nation, for we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Four is the Citizens Forum. Persons wishing to address the council must limit their presentation to no more than 2 minutes unless an item is posted on the agenda. The Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to an existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the city, council members, or employees, as well as individual personal appeals, are not appropriate for Citizens Forum. If necessary, the City Council may convene into executive session under Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code regarding any item on this agenda. The public forum is now open. If there's anyone who wishes to address the council, please come forward. Does Watt want to talk?
Yes, he just does not want Mommy to put him down. Hi, my name is Carrie Daniel. I am a business owner and a resident of downtown, and I am coming to the council today to urge y'all and ask y'all to please continue to show your support for the traffic study that recently ended with the stop signs. As a downtown business owner, I had several people ask me if it affected our business when we had the stop signs, and the answer that I told them originally was, as a new business, I did not notice. I had not been open long enough to really notice, but in the last week and a half, I have definitely noticed a decline in our walk-in traffic with the stop signs back on. As a resident, I have also noticed it is harder for us to walk around. It does not feel as safe again. And the traffic noise is much louder now because you can hear the cars flying through downtown now. I have a text thread with several other business owners. I asked them to come to this evening also. Unfortunately, most of them were not able to, but all of them were also showing support for the stop signs. So I just hope you guys can continue to work with TxDOT and encourage them to listen to the voices of those of us who are downtown and whose livelihood depends on it. So thank you guys for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Daniel. And what? Anyone else wishing to speak, come forward. State your name and address, please.
Good evening. Millicent Key, 541 South Main. Also, as to what Ms. Daniel spoke of regarding the stop signs, I'm a resident on Main Street. Huge difference in traffic, speed of traffic, pedestrian friendly. Before with the stop signs, really pedestrian unsafe now. And living right on South Main Street, I'm just a few doors down from Bywaters Park, kind of catty corner from the library. A lot of foot traffic comes through there. And when the stop signs were in place, it felt safer, it felt more pedestrian friendly, fewer 18-wheelers, fewer speeding incidences. And I would also just really like to say that I would really appreciate your support in working with TxDOT to return that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Please come forward.
Good evening. Mac Ross, 3475 Reno Drive, Paris, Texas. I'm here to talk in regard to the collector street that you're proposed to work with the North Lamar. I'm looking at a map and I represent not only myself, but a lot of the large landowners, homeowners north of Paris. The collector street across from Campbell's that's in discussion, I think, later. And then you've got one across from the Big Lake Crook. That one serves thousands of acres, 3,000 acres at least could be developed. It was originally proposed to go through the hills, and we spent thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money building a 42-foot street into the hills to a brick house. It dead ends. We don't need to make those mistakes again. So if you look at the collector streets, the only one that makes it feasible is Lake Crook, all the way over to Steelhouse, over to 195, north of the hills, or east, between the hills and Stone Ridge. Those two developments are in the city of Paris. And then if you work your way on over to Steelhouse, and then eventually to 82, you've got a good north loop. Is there any questions?
By law, we can't address them. We can just, if you need to talk to a staff member.
Well, here's what I would suggest that the city council or the committees that do this, talk to the Barbie family that's got 2,000 or 3,000 acres, some of the other large landowners. I'm sure they might even donate the right of way. If they got thousands of acres, the road you're talking about going through North Lamar don't serve anybody. Don't do a bit of good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Hi, my name is Aaron Barnes. I'm a resident of Paris, Texas. I'm in the North Lamar School District. I'm a business owner here in the county as well. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this thoroughfare through the North Lamar School District where our new elementary school is being built. So I'm coming at this from a parent standpoint and thinking about our kids and their education and the funds that the district has for those kids. Obviously, this thoroughfare plan, is pretty old. It was news to a lot of us. And when I think about the work that we did around the bond election to get this passed, I could confidently tell, parents, yes, part of this new elementary school includes a road to the elementary school, but not a road for, let's say, future development, other things beyond that school. So I almost feel like I've, misrepresented that to some extent. Also, looking at the plans around the requirements for sidewalks, irrigation, landscaping. I don't want to call it a road to nowhere because it could be a road to somewhere someday, but I would hate to see the district using their funds to what I would say would be like over-improve and go well beyond the educational needs of the district for things like irrigation, landscaping, and sidewalks. So anything that the council can do to help our district and most importantly our kids out, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Red Holmes. I reside at 146 County Road 43600, Paris, Texas. I'm here also to speak on behalf of the North Lamar Independent School District as a taxpayer. I am a trustee out there, but I am not speaking for the trustees. We need to make that clear. Anyhow, we've tried to pass a bond twice. It was unsuccessful. Nobody approached us about this street that the city has now approached us about. We're not against the city by no means. We want to be good neighbors with you guys, and but it's just kind of blindsided us. We finally passed that bond. We knew we was going to have to build a road. That was part of the agreement with our neighbor and church over there. TxDOT approved the intersection with the traffic light there for us. And so that's why we chose to purchase that piece of property that we did. And then we tell our taxpayers, this is the amount of money we need to do everything for our needs of our students in North Lamar. And then now this hits us in the face that, hey, there's a whole lot more money going to be spent. And that's money that the taxpayers, put aside for the students of North Lamar Independent School District, just like other school districts. And please, I know there's been committees working on this. Please do what's right for the kids of North Lamar and their taxpayers, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, the citizens forum is now closed. Item 4B is the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are approved by a single action of the council, with such approval applicable to all items appearing on the consent agenda. A council member may request any item to be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Does any member wish to remove an item from the agenda for discussion?
Mayor Portugal, I would like to recuse myself off of one of the items, item number 11.
Thank you. Member Pankaj has asked to be recused from item 11 because he has a conflict. Do I have a motion and a second to recuse Councilmember Pankaj?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. All right, Mr. Pankaj,
Thank you.
you are recused. Item number 11, approve the final plat of the Tecmac Addition Lot 1, Block A, LCAD Property ID 104787, located at 30005 North Main Street. Any discussion?
Make the motion we approve. Item 11.
A motion is made to approve. A second? A second. Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. All right, I'll take a motion to return Councilmember Pankaj to the meeting.
So moved.
A motion and a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. A motion and a second to return Councilmember Pankaj. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. All right, motion carries.
You want me to get him?
Yes, thank you. All right. If there are no more items to be pulled, I'll ask a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
A motion and a second.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Moving to the regular agenda, item number 17, conduct a public hearing, discuss and act on the petition of Morad Elwer in behalf of Sarah Faber and Jerry Jackson for a specific use permit for a fuel station in the city of Paris, Block 41A, lots 1 through 3 and 5 through 8, Commercial District, located in the 300 block of North Main Street, LCAD 14015, 14016, 14017, 14021, and 14022. Staff, Mr. Mack.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Pro Tem, members of City Council. The request before you this evening is for a special use permit for the location of a fuel station and convenience store on the 300 block of North Main. Staff has worked very carefully with the project development team regarding the site layout and the design of the improvements. Also, we've worked closely with TxDOT as a part of our pre-development process for assuring that the traffic flow and the site development will conform with the proper requirements within the city's zoning ordinance, specifically with regard to special use permits for which we have criteria laid out in our code. Based upon the recommendation of the Planning Commission and city staff, we are recommending that the project be approved this evening by the City Council, subject to two conditions. contained within the staff report. Number one is approval of the civil site construction improvements by the city engineer prior to issuance of a building permit. And number two, that there be approval of the new driveway access permits by the city on the city street and TxDOT on the TxDOT roadways prior to commencing any new site development construction. With that, I'll answer any questions you may have.
It's going to create a lot of traffic in that area though, right? Is MHMR still in operation behind that?
Yes.
It's still in operation. Yeah, so it's a lot of traffic right there on that corner.
Does TxDOT do a TIA for something like this?
Was not required.
Okay.
Is there going to be alcohol sold in this facility?
I'm not aware of what the plans are of the convenience store operator for that specific purpose. It's certainly a common practice at many of our stations throughout the community.
It would be alcohol, but not necessarily liquor. I would assume most convenience stores, do we have a count of anything like that? I mean, I think most convenience stores
Beer
probably
and
just
wine.
have beer and wine, right? So I think there's a particular, I know there's a concern, and I'm sure we'll hear about this here in a little bit, but I know there's, from many citizens, I've heard many concerns about the alcohol intent. I mean, that's a TABC issue and not necessarily for the council, but I am interested to hear all sides of the story on this matter.
Mr. Pilgrim, did you have a question or concern? All right, I will now open the public hearing and ask that anyone who wishes to come forward and speak in support or opposition of this item, please state your name and address for the record.
Hi everyone, good evening. My first name is Rajendra, last name is Weigel. I do own the business in the 274 North Main Street, nearby that the location where we propose the fuel station. My only concern is, as per the TABC law, 300 feet of church, public or private school or public hospital, there is not allowed to sell the alcohol permit, even wine, beer and any kind of alcohol. So only my concern is that station, if, everybody know that convenience store, they sell wine, beer, and look at the safety and traffic flow, which can able to run that particular location, hold that big station or not, and this mostly heavily neighborhood area too. So that's only my concern. So that's why I run the same convenience store mom pop business, So I just want to do oppose on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against?
Good evening. My name is Stacy Liddell. I reside at 1730 Majestic Drive, Paris, Texas. I am a member of Graham Street Church of Christ, and I do also voice several concerns about the station. As I reiterate from the last meeting, I'm not against the growing of Paris, Texas. I feel like we're a little behind time, but as far as the church itself, no alcohol beverages are supposed to be sold of any kind within 300 feet of a church organization, as well as Miss Daniel, who left, but yet the others could voice concerns about the high traffic area that I feel that would create coming down from the plaza going on to North Main. There will be an entrance exit on the back side, as Mr. I can't think of his name, Mac, I think, voice. Yes, I'm sorry if I didn't get the name right, but I know it'll be away from our entrance, but I'm just looking at the what it could create, the crime rate, the crashes or wrecks that has already happened at that stop sign right there by the church going up towards the plaza. And I'm also with Ms. Daniel and some of the others about the stop signs. I thought that was a plus. I don't know what we can do to bring that back, but from a church member standpoint, and I have several members here with me, but we just voiced a concern of that and for that area. And this will be a 24/7 service station. And I know they're not here either, but that the MHMR building, which helps children and adults right behind what used to be Mary's Cafe, talk to them too. They voiced concerns about all the traffic, all the noise that the stuff that they carry on in that building as well. But other than that, that's all I have. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Liddell. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Is there any discussion?
No, I think all the concerns have been very well stated. The traffic, the alcohol sale right across the street from a church, because looking at the map, it's just right next door to the church. And I know we have T24 on the southeast corner of Graham in North Main, but I don't know if that's 300 feet away or not, but I know that would be right next door to a church. But it's the traffic for me that it would create. If it's anything like the other stations that's being built, it would create a lot of traffic, and it's already a high traffic area, so I'm just concerned about that.
Got a question for you, Mr. Mack. Do we know the proposed layout of where the front door of the station would be and the distance from that front door to the front door of the church?
We do. We have a site plan that has been presented. The measurement, according to the city's liquor laws it's a licensing issued by the state, but it is referred to the city for review based on those standards, is a measurement that's made from the door of the establishment to the door of the nearest use, following the proper method of how you would walk from door to door, which would be using crosswalks and proper means of crossing a street. Those measurements have been calculated and found to be consistent with the city ordinance requirements.
Meaning it would be well within that 300 feet?
It's greater than 300 feet.
So basically, our concerns in terms of the alcohol are a moot point at this point.
They would be consistent with the city's requirements as well as that of the state of Texas.
Yeah. So I hope that sets the record a little clear on that fact, but.
It doesn't, because it's 300 feet, because you have to walk up and he counts those feet, then you walk across, then you walk down, then you get there. But in actuality, you walk straight across, then it's not 300 feet.
Sure, but if that's the law.
Oh, I get it. I get the law.
Then, I mean, either way, it's still 300 or less feet, right? But if we're going by the law's calculation, then they're not able to serve the alcohol, right?
It's within the law. From what I understand, it's within the law, right? They can sell alcohol.
Correct.
Yeah.
You are able to serve
Yes.
the alcohol. Okay,
How
maybe
many
I'm-
feet is it by your calculations, please?
I don't have the exact distance that was calculated by the engineering department. Of course, that's not a specific part of the item, which is the special use before the council this evening. That is handled through the state and then referred to the clerk's office for the proper protocols for the review and comment on the issuing of the license. So we don't know specifically at this point if that's their intent or not. There's been no application received by the city.
Any further comments or questions? I guess my concern partly is traffic, but also that this is one entrance into our historic downtown. And it seems like a fuel station just doesn't fit to me in a historic downtown setting.
Well, that, and also, you know, I piggyback off of the comments on the traffic study. Are we able to potentially, as a council or from the city standpoint, look at asking for a TIA being done? I mean, I think that's a valid point. If this is something that is worthwhile putting in, I think we should look at that traffic and impact analysis study and see, would it be a harmful business? But I think it needs to be definitive. Do we have that right to be able to do that as a council?
You know, we have our city engineer here this evening, and I think he'd be better qualified to comment on that. Chris, if I could invite you to the stand, since you're here.
Good evening, council. To answer that question, I believe it would be ultimately a TxDOT decision on whether or not they would require that TIA. There are existing entrances already to that site. A lot of times what triggers a TIA would be somebody requesting a new driveway or something along those lines. But I'd be more than happy to reach out to the area engineer and express the concern of the council and see if that's something that they could get behind and support.
Any more discussion or questions of Chris? We could, I suppose, table this following information about a TIA, but we can take a vote.
I'm kind of in favor of tabling this, and I'll just be very honest with you. I mean, I've had a lot of citizens like Mr. Liddell that have come up to me and talked to me about this very issue. And as far as my standpoint, right, from a business standpoint, I understand fully that a business would like to come in. I also understand the citizens' right, saying, hey, this is our church, this is where we pray, this is our holy area. So I understand that point too, but I want to make sure we make the right decision. I would also like to pick the brain of TABC and see, hey, within the parameter, how many fuel stations or how many places that sell, you know, alcohol are this close in vicinity? I'm just curious. I mean, I think this is a fair question. I've had this question raised for my businesses too. I think that it's a fair question.
Two things. If you want to table this, we will have to renotice a public hearing because we've had the public hearing, opened and closed it. We'll have to re-advertise and do this another time. I do not think that there's a whole lot of discretion on the TABC part. I mean, you know, the city could oppose it, but, you know, if they otherwise meet requirements, I'm not sure TABC is going to deny them a permit. But in any event, the main thing I wanted to say is we will need to, if you're going to table it, we will need to renotice it for a new public hearing.
I'm ready to vote on it now. So. Lakes Regional, give me heard anything from them? MHR, that's Lakes Regional, correct? Mm-hmm. Have we heard anything from them?
No, sir.
And that's a mental health, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We received no input form from them, nor did they testify at the P&Z public hearing.
The input is through Mr. Liddell. Is that all right, Mr. Liddell?
You can stay. Just real quickly, MHMR will not speak up. They're governmentally funded or city funded. So with that said, speaking to the lady, and I said I won't call her name, but they won't speak up. But I talked to 5 employees, and they are concerned about the 24/7. Even though they're shut down on the weekends, but they are concerned about the sleep study, stuff that goes on in that facility. Like you say, the horn blowing and stuff like that. So to come forth, I won't think you will have a person to come forth from that building, but I did talk to, right now, the manager or whatever you want to say over there.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Social media has accused this council of turning away business, killing business in Paris, and I think it's obvious if you drive the streets of Paris. And I can't remember a single time we've turned down a special use permit. So tell me what your pleasure is as far as to table this or to take a vote.
My personal opinion, as I've stated before, I'm happy to be in favor of tabling this. Again, I think this is a very important decision. This needs to be made in the most diplomatic way possible. That's my position on the matter, but I would like to do a little bit more due diligence before we make that decision. That's my input. What would the rest of the council like?
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we vote on it. I mean, because my decision's not gonna change between now and with any other information.
I think it's a tough thing to put a gas station right there in downtown. I don't like turning anybody down for nothing, but a 24-hour gas station downtown, in my opinion, in the edge of the historic district or in the historic district, and having a facility just to the north of it too that's needs a little bit of a break. I'm going to say I'm going to have to pass on it this time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm perfectly willing to vote right now.
All right, I'll hear a motion on item number 17.
I gave the motion.
Motion, do I hear a second?
Motion to what?
Motion for this petition.
Okay.
Do I hear a second?
Sorry, motion for this petition.
To
to
approve this petition.
Oh, okay. To approve it, okay.
Is there-
I'm making a motion to approve
That's
it.
what-
I'm making a motion to vote on it. You gave the option to table
Well-
it or vote it.
What we want the motion?
A motion to act on the petition. Do I hear a second?
I think there's some misunderstanding here.
Well, we're going to vote, yes or no,
To what?
to approve this,
That's not what,
to act
that's
on
not
it.
what pro tem is
Yeah,
saying.
I'm sorry, to act on it.
Do we need to do that? We don't need to do that.
No.
We just need to make a motion for or against.
A motion to act on the petition is the way it's worded. I'll second the motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, say no. No.
No.
Motion carries 7-0. Okay?
Well, could we get some clarification here?
I'm sorry, you confused your lawyer. Were you voting to, was that a vote on, I'm going to vote on this versus I'm going to vote to table this? Or was that a vote to approve the petition?
Councilman Hughes
A
made a
vote to-
motion,
Was to vote on it and not
To
table.
vote,
but we don't need a motion to vote
Well, you
on
don't
it.
need to do that.
no, vote to act, and we acted
Well,
7-0
In denial.
in denial.
you acted 7-0 in denial.
Who made that motion?
I didn't hear that motion.
Nobody made that motion.
I'll make a motion to deny the
Thank you.
permit for the
Okay.
special use
I
of a
second
gas
that motion.
station.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Okay, thank you. Item number 18, conduct a public hearing, discuss and act on an ordinance considering the petition of Bailey Asay on behalf of Tal Chan for a change in zoning from a one-family dwelling district number 2, SF2, to a multiple family dwelling district number 1, MF1, in the city of Paris, block 257-A, lot NPT3, lot 15 and 3A, located at 2340 East Cherry Street and 2331 Pine Bluff, LCAD 18177 and 18190. Mr. Mack.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. The request before you this evening is to change the zoning from SF2 to MF1. The future land use plan calls for this area to develop with medium level density. This request is consistent with the plan. The request is also consistent with the recent zoning change that the council took on the adjoining property, 2 parcels to the east. There is a plan to develop this at this point in time for a 9-plex, and we have a series of 6 duplexes planned on the property just to the east. So this is outside of our 5 and 5 infill housing development program, but it does provide needed additional housing opportunities within the community. And as a result of this, staff recommends, as has the Planning Commission, approval of the zoning change.
Thank you. Any questions of Mr. Mack? I will now open the public hearing and ask that anyone who wishes to come forward and speak in support or opposition of this item, please state your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. Any discussion? I'll hear a motion.
I move that we approve the change in zoning from a one-family dwelling district number 2, SF2, to a multiple family dwelling district number 1, MF1.
Thank you, Mr. Pankaj. A second. Mr. Hughes. Is there any more discussion? All right. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries 7-0. Item number 19, conduct a public hearing, discuss and act on an ordinance considering the petition of Bailey Asay on behalf of Distinguished Property and Investments, LLC, for a comprehensive plan amendment from a commercial C to high-density residential HDR in the city of Paris, Block 250, Lot 32, located at 891 Clement Road, LCAD 53721. Mr. Mack?
Thank you, Mayor and members of council. We have this request to amend the comp plan in order to pave the way for the rezoning request to change the property. This is exercise in how to properly undertake zoning changes, and that is to zone in accordance with the comprehensive plan. So the staff is recommending, as has the Planning Commission, that the property be changed in the comprehensive plan future land use map to high-density residential.
All right. I will now open the public hearing and ask that anyone who wishes to come forward and speak in support or opposition of this item, please state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Any discussion, council? I'll hear a motion.
I move that we approve the minor comprehensive plan amendment to the future land use map from commercial to high-density residential.
All right. A second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. All right, item number 20, conduct a public hearing, discuss and act on an ordinance considering the petition of Bailey Asay on behalf of Distinguished Property Investments, LLC, for a change in zoning from a commercial district to a multiple family district number 1 in the city of Paris. I'm sorry, am I on 21 or 20? 20, okay. A multiple family dwelling district number 1 in the city of Paris, Block 250, Lot 32, located at 891 Clement Road, LCAD 53271. Mr. Mack?
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Consistent with the previous action you just took, re-guiding the property for medium or higher density residential, the Planning Commission as well as staff is recommending that you approve the zoning change from commercial to MF1 in order to allow construction of a 9-plex apartment building on this property. Proper screening and so forth can be afforded for the buffering requirements for adjacent single-family residences. And as a result, we recommend that you approve the zoning change this evening.
Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing and ask that anyone who wishes to come forward and speak in support or opposition of this item, please state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Council, discussion or questions? All right, I'll hear a motion.
I move that we approve the change in zoning from commercial to multifamily dwelling district number 1.
And a second? Thank you. A motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries 7-0. Item number 21. Conduct a public hearing, discuss and act on the petition of Adam Bolton on behalf of Austin Sugg for a comprehensive plan amendment from commercial C to low-density residential LDR in the city of Paris, Block 17-C, Lot 12, located at 2296 Southeast 3rd Street, LCAD 71599. Mr. Mack.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Once again, here we have the opportunity to first consider the change in the land use plan in order to provide a proper means of zoning change in accordance with the comprehensive plan. The request by the applicant is for the subject parcel shown on the aerial map here. What this doesn't do is provide a continuity with the plan for the surrounding properties that are currently all used for residential purposes. There was discussion on this item at the P&Z level, and there was an agreement that it made sense to change the plan to accommodate future low-density residential uses, such as is being proposed for this site for new construction. On that basis, we have initiated public hearing notices and so forth. That will come back up at the May P&Z meeting to look at amending the plan for the surrounding properties in their current use. So that will come back to the council at a following point in time in the end of May. But at this point in time, it allows us to allow the applicant to proceed with the amendment. We are recommending approval of this change and the subsequent zoning change that will be on your next agenda item. So with that, we again are recommending approval of the plan amendment and look forward to bringing back the subsequent properties. We won't be recommending rezoning of the properties, simply to amend the plan so that we have a consistent, cohesive land use plan reflecting the immediate surrounding neighborhood and current use of the property. So with that, again, we recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. I'll now open the public hearing and ask that anyone who wishes to come forward and speak in support or opposition of this item, please state your name and address. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any discussion?
I just wanted to make one note. Even at PNC when we were there near Portugal, I thought it was really neat to see some young developers come in and do their thing. So kudos to Bailey and Adam and Austin. It's nice to see younger generations stepping up to do some stuff here. So just want to note that. Otherwise, I yield. There's nothing else there for me.
Well, and I want to commend our Director of Planning and Community Development for keeping our comprehensive plan consistent and user-friendly. All right. Any more discussion? I'll hear a motion.
I move that we approve this request for the comprehensive plan amendment from commercial to low-density residential on the basis that the city is initiating a larger area change to the FLMU based upon the current and future uses of the two-block area along Southeast 3rd Street.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. Item number 22, conduct a public hearing, discuss and act on an ordinance considering the petition of Adam Bolton on behalf of Austin Sugg for a change in zoning from a commercial District C to a two-family dwelling District 2F in the city of Paris, Block 17C, Lot 12, located at 2296 Southeast 3rd Street, LCAD 71599. Mr. Mack.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Now that you have approved the amendment to the future land use map and our comprehensive plan, we have a zoning request from commercial to 2F in order to permit duplex construction, which would be consistent with the comprehensive plan amendment. On that basis, the staff, as well as Planning and Zoning Commission, are recommending approval of the zoning change.
Thank you. All right, the public hearing is now open, and I'll ask that anyone wishing to come forward and speak in support or opposition to this item. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Any discussion? I'll hear a motion to approve.
I move that we approve this request for rezoning from commercial district to a two-family dwelling District 2F.
Second.
A commercial to two-family. All right, second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. Item number 23, conduct a public hearing, discuss and act on the petition of the City of Paris to amend the master thoroughfare plan by removing the planned extension of a collector street for Pine Mill Road west of Collegiate Drive. Mr. Back.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. We are currently working with a developer interested in pursuing a subdivision. There has been a review of this particular segment of the city's master thoroughfare plan. As we refer to this as section or element C9, this plan provided for this to create a connection extending Pine Mill from its current location where it tees with Collegiate to extend circuitously all the way over to Main Street. In further review of that and discussion with our development team and the potential impact that this would have on the proposed subdivision, which does not effectively accommodate this, also given the very high cost of looking at acquiring real estate, creating a proper route for a thoroughfare, collector street, which this would be a major collector street. It's impractical and not feasible. Therefore, we're recommending that this section be removed from the plan and deleted as a part of the request to the council this evening. Planning and Zoning Commission has reviewed this and is recommending with the staff that this be removed from the plan.
All right. I'll now open the public hearing and ask that anyone who wishes to come forward and speak in support or opposition of this item, please state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Any discussion or questions of Mr. Mack? All right, I'll hear a motion.
Make a motion to amend the master thoroughfare plan by removing the planned extension of Collector Street from Primary Road west of Collegiate Drive.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. Item number 24, receive and discuss the 2022 water and wastewater cost of service rate study and consider an ordinance amending Appendix A fee schedule, Article A10.000 utility rates, Section A10.003 water rates of the Code of Ordinances to reflect changes recommended by the 2021 water and sewer rate study. Thank you,
Mayor and
Mr.
council
Anderson.
members, we are bringing forward today our 2022 rate study. As most of you know that have been on the council for a while, we have water contracts with 4 of our industries, and some of the terms of those contracts require us to have a rate study every year, and this accomplishes that. One of the byproducts, though, of having that rate study is that our residential and commercial rates are also determined as part of that process. This study, along with our rate maintenance policy, is very important in enabling us to maintain our water and sewer fund so that it can serve the public as it's intended to do. We're fortunate again this year to have Chris Eckroot from New Gen Strategies, who will be doing a presentation on the rate study.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Eckroot.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Chris Eckroot with New Gen Strategies and Solutions. Pleasure to be with you tonight. Here to report on the results of the 2022 water and wastewater rate study. As Mr. Anderson said, again, this is required under your industrial contracts, so the retail rate impact is just a byproduct of this effort. We'll remind you, those of you that may not have gone through this process before, we actually use two different periods to address and assess rates. We look back, we are looking at historical costs for your industrial customers. We are looking at your current adopted budget for your retail class. So slightly different measurement scope there. We'll also remind you the council has previously adopted wastewater rate increases. I cite this ordinance later on in the presentation. So really we're just focused more on water rates tonight than wastewater increases. Those wastewater increases already approved by the council, they are working very well. They are allowing you to engage in the plant upgrades that are needed. Understand that there's going to be some bidding coming up on that very soon. So very excited to see progress on that front. As Mr. Anderson said, you do have a rate maintenance policy that's been in place since 2010. Very critical that you continue to follow this rate maintenance policy. The rating agencies look at this policy. They are assessing you and grading you based on this policy. As you are looked at by those rating agencies, as you issue debt, policies like this enable you to maintain a higher bond rating. With a higher bond rating comes lower interest costs. There's an inverse relationship between the rating and the interest cost. So following policies like this, very critical to maintaining low long-term borrowing cost for your utility system. So as we get into this year's study, we did see a slight increase in the water utility revenue requirement. Revenue requirement means the amount of money that needs to be generated through rates. So we did see the water utility revenue requirement increase. The wastewater utility revenue requirement increased substantially. Again, that's due to the ongoing capital projects. That was expected. That was already handled through the previously approved wastewater rate increases. At this time, you are in compliance with your rate maintenance policy, driven mainly by those wastewater rate increases that, again, have already been approved by council. One thing that we did find in this year's study is retail water use. Retail water use for your residential customers has fallen. This continues a long-term trend we have seen in the city. People are being very smart about water use. They are conserving, they are installing efficient fixtures when they are either renovating or engaging in new construction. So we continue to see this trend overall. That is one reason we are recommending a slight increase in water rates. Again, when you think about the water utility business, we have to sell water to generate revenue. As we sell less water, that means the rate has to go up to increase and generate the revenue we need. Again, those wastewater rate increases already adopted, not proposed for action on that tonight. Do recommend you continue to hold the line on those. Again, those are performing very well at this time. So as far as water rate changes in the ordinance that's before you tonight, you see what we're proposing for a change in residential water rates. This is the actual rate change, but let me take you to the next slide. This is the impact on the monthly bill for customers. So a 2,000-gallon user, again, very low usage. This is probably going to be a low-volume consumer, generally fixed income customer, possibly a senior citizen. This is a 70-cent a month increase in the water bill. For 5,000 gallons, a single-family home, $1.54 a month. For a larger user, probably irrigating their home, potentially has a pool, $2.95 a month. That's the increase for them under these rates. On the commercial side, again, you see the rate increases on slide 10, the impact to commercial customers, 5,000 gallon and 10,000 gallons. These are going to be more your mom and pop businesses not using water as part of a economic process. But again, $1.61 for 5,000 gallons, $2.94 increase a month for 10,000 gallons. On the remaining slides, we have included for your reference the rates that are included in ordinance number 2021-002. These are the wastewater rate increases that have been passed, when those are anticipated to be effective going forward. And again, on the slide here, that's just the monthly impact of those previously approved increases for residential wastewater customers. We then have the same setup where we're presenting the commercial wastewater rates, again, already approved, and then the impact of those to the customer bills. Again, performing very well on the wastewater side. Continue to hold the line there. We will continue to monitor those and see what is needed as we continue to engage in the substantial wastewater capital project that's underway. So putting all of this together, what does this mean? Again, under the ordinance that's before you tonight, a 70-cent increase a month for 2,000-gallon customers, $1.54 for 5,000, $2.95 for 10,000. There would then be the wastewater increase, which would apply in October. And again, we're comparing in that October column current to October. That's not comparing June to October. So that's a little bit of a presentation there to be aware of. On the commercial side, again, $1.61 for 5,000 gallons, $2.94. Wastewater increase then coming in October. I show you this chart every time I'm with you, and I'm pretty sure I use these exact same words every time I'm with you. While I do show you these regional bill comparisons, this is not an apples-to-apples comparison. Every city is different. Every city does business a different way. Ultimately, it is up to you as a council to fund your business, to make sure you are taking the action necessary to provide the financial resources to maintain and sustain your business. So again, we don't set rates based on what everybody else is doing, but it is good to know where we are at. Right now, April 2022, for a 5,000-gallon customer, total monthly bill $94.98. You can see this really doesn't change your relative position with the proposal that's in front of you tonight. You can see where these other communities also fall for 5,000 gallons. So that concludes my presentation for this evening. Very pleased to be with you again. Happy to answer any questions that you may have.
My one question I have, Mr. Eckert, is currently we're not making enough to pay for our program. Is that right?
On the water side,
On
that
the
is
water
correct.
side, not
That is correct.
wastewater.
Wastewater is performing very well. Right now, wastewater actually, if you look at the utilities on a combined basis, you would say that wastewater is subsidizing water. This increase is to get water where it needs to be.
And is that just a standard practice, or is that a state law? Where does that stand as far as water treatment and waste and water need to pay for themselves?
So
Is that
it is a best practice. It is something that your bondholders are also going to look at, but it's also just an equity consideration. You may have customers that only receive water service that do not receive wastewater, or vice versa. So in those instances, you wouldn't want one customer that is taking service from one utility and not the other, subsidizing service. I don't know that there's a state law. You sit as the regulatory body, ultimately determining what is best for your community, but it is certainly a best practice when you're managing your business.
Thank you. That answers my question. Any more questions of Mr. Eckert?
It's just concern, and the recommendation is to raise the price a little bit, right?
Yes, sir.
So the only concern is, and I think you mentioned people are getting smarter on saving water. So they're buying the washers that conserve water. They're buying the continuous flow hot water heater. So they're investing. Those things cost money.
Yes, sir.
So they're investing a lot of money to save money on the end.
Yes, sir.
And so what we're doing is saying, okay, because these people are getting smarter, we're going to raise the rate. So it just makes their investment null and void. So to me, I hate to do that when you have people conserving on purpose, to save on, their bills, but then we said, we'll just raise it up and, to equalize or try to balance the budget, so to speak.
Completely appreciate your point. I would counter that I don't think it's a null, that it makes the investment null and void. Ultimately, we are being better stewards of the environment. Overall, we are being better users of a limited product. But again, as we look at the utility business model, this is going on everywhere. Electricity, natural gas, water, sewer, everybody is going through this, and it's just a matter of how the business model has been set up. I have not found anybody that has solved this problem yet. You may have heard the term revenue decoupling thrown out there, but effectively what we're trying to do when we say that is decouple the revenue stream from usage. But when we do that, we have to be careful because ultimately we're generating a fixed amount of revenue. And how we go through that process can significantly impact affordability on customers. If there's a fixed charge and we go up more on the fixed charge than the volumetric charge, that fixed charge is unavoidable. And that can have a significant impact on users with less of an ability to pay. So there's very much a balance here as we go through it. We have to protect the utility, generate the revenue the utility needs. We have to protect our customers on the other hand. So again, it's the nature of the business. I appreciate the comments. And hopefully at some point this will all equalize.
Hope so.
And I think we recently received bids on our chemicals for the coming fiscal year, and it was not good news.
Nowhere is that good news right now.
So to deliver safe, clean water to our citizens is costing a lot more money.
Yes.
All right.
I've got a Grayson, what budgetary wise, it seems like I've been on the council a few years now, and I don't think we've ever not raised it. That's kind of my question, or is it something that budgetary wise, is there things you think we can do to stay neutral on this, or is it a necessity to go up a little bit?
We do actively bid on everything that we can, and we do price things out, and so again, this is actually retroactive. Our current revenue is not enough to meet the current need for expense, and that's after we've already bid things out. So again, as Mr. Eckert is saying, we have there is a cost to make the water available, and we have to maintain. We have a facility that's built the way it was that can meet the needs of a growing community, but we can't just downsize that just to decrease rates to provide the same service. I mean. Yes, so does that answer your question? So yeah, we're continuing to bid things out actively, with things that we can bid out. Yes.
Any more questions? I'll hear a motion.
I'll make a motion to amend the Appendix A of the fee schedule, Article A10.000, utility rates, and A10.003, water rates, as written by Mr. Eckert.
I'll second.
Thank you. A motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Eckert. Item number 25, discuss and act on an ordinance extending the mayor's declaration of local disaster for public health emergency and order dated March 19th, 2020, as extended by resolution number 2020-011, and most recently by ordinance number 2021-023 for an additional 90 days.
It's
Ms.
COVID time
Harris?
again. The state still has its declaration of emergency in effect. The governor redoes that every month, and he did it at the end of March. And as long as the state has their emergency declaration in place, I recommend that we keep ours in place.
All right, any discussion? I'll hear a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Savage. A
Second.
second. Mr.
Second.
Pankosh. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries 7-0. Item number 26, convene into executive session pursuant to A, Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, consultation with attorney to receive legal advice from the city attorney about 1, pending or contemplating litigation, and/or 2, on matters in which the duty of an attorney to her client under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflict with this chapter, to wit, interlocal agreement with North Lamar ISD. B, Section 551.087 of the Texas Government Code. 1, to discuss or deliberate regarding commercial or financial information that the governmental body has received from a business prospect that the governmental body seeks to have locate, stay, or expand in or near the territory of the governmental body, and with which the governmental body is conducting economic development negotiations. Or 2, to deliberate the offer of a financial or other incentive to a business prospect described by subdivision 1 as follows: Westgate Apartments. The time is 6:35, and the city council will now convene into executive session. The time is 7:16, and we are now in open session. Item number 27A requires no action, and item 27B requires no action. Item number 28, consider and approve future events for city council and/or city staff pursuant to resolution number 2004-084. Does anyone have anything?
I do.
Ms. Malone?
Madam Mayor, it is about that time when we start our staff evaluations, so I was wondering if you would be interested in having that put on the agenda for us to discuss the process.
Yes, we did. All right, Mr. Path, if you'll put that on as a discussion item. And anything else? Item number 29, adjournment. I'll hear a motion in a second.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Adjourned.